listening to data.zen.podcast. It's a new episode. And today, as usual, we're going to talk about not really usual theme. We're going to talk about the people who spend their free time trying to solve the problems that bother the uh, mankind, who try to do something useful for all the people in the world. We're gonna talk about the hackathons and the people who participate in such activities. And today we have Safak Kapci, who is organizer of hackathons for many years, and also data solution architect in EPAM. Hello, Shafak.
Hello, Anton. Thank you so much for the introduction. Uh, yes, my name is Shafak, and I am working with EPAM for last almost 6 years. Data solution architect for a couple of years, and still hands-on data engineer. And yes, I really like to organize such events such as hackathons, public speakings, and so on.
Cool, thanks. And yeah, while I'm preparing this podcast, I eventually understand that I don't know any other sphere of human being or profession where such activities could happen. Could you confirm that it's like unique for programming, or do you know any other sphere?
Actually, for the electronics, there are also a lot of hackathons. Like you need to go there, you need to build a circuit to solve
Mm-hmm.
specific problems. But you can say that it's mostly engineering.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And I see. And how do you think, what do you think the motivation for people to participate in hackathons?
Well, networking to learn something new, to have a chance to compete. We as engineers, we like to solve challenges. We really like to attack them, and we like to have feeling of something completed. Right. That's why people would like to attend those activities, and they would like to learn or do something new, something better. And also the most interesting part is you need to compete with someone else to see where you are exactly located, what is your
Mm-hmm.
position in the industry. That's why hackathons are very useful. You can learn, you can compete, and you can create a network.
Yeah, but you may do probably the same things while you're working, like you.
Not necessarily true. When you are working, you have very closed circle, right? You are day to day, you are communicating like 5 to 10 people, most
Mm-hmm.
probably, and you are always solving challenges together. There's no competition when you are trying to solve some common problem. But when you are in a hackathon, you can solve some challenges individually or with a team, and still you need to compete and you need to learn something new. Especially in enterprise companies, the solution areas are very narrow. We do not have very wide uh, problems to solve. But when you're in a
Mm-hmm.
hackathon, you need to know almost everything, learn everything by yourself or by your team. You need to delegate those tasks, and you need to be very quick, like working in a startup companies.
Okay, and they say that like I'm as a participant of the hackathon have to learn something probably from the scratch, and as I know, hackathons last probably a few days. Is it enough time to study
Therefore,
everything?
yes, because you need to create or solve a problem with the problem space, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
can learn something from scratch in maybe 2 to 3 hours if you are mid developer, right? I mean, let's
Mm-hmm.
assume that you're a mid developer, you need to solve a problem with Spark, and you have no idea how does it work. So basically, you can start directly copy pasting solutions, and then it will start working out. You don't have to have productionized product.
But probably the main problem to solve lays not in the technical skills, like knowing a particular language or something like that, but in understanding the sphere. Like to first of all, you have to find out the solution kind of idea. Of what
Actually,
can you
it
do?
is up to hackathon type, right? There are different hackathon types. Like, for example, this year we have provided two different challenges when we are organizing our hackathon. One of them was literally solving technical questions. We provided engineering questions, five engineering and five machine learning questions. So you have to solve those questions no matter what. And the
Mm-hmm.
other branch was create something out of the box solution. So basically, there was no limit to create anything, but it should be based on the data itself. So basically, hackathons usually they do not provide this space. Either they ask for something, some technical requirements, or literally create a new solution. It doesn't have to be like MVP or something, just mockups, and that's it. So
Mm-hmm.
before you join a hackathon, you need to check the requirements, what it will be, what they are gonna ask.
Okay. So let's imagine I want to participate in hackathon. What I need to do? Like, do I need to find other people to go with me, like a team, or I may go by myself? Do I need to any preparation?
Okay, still there are two major types of hackathons. The first one is you need to create your own team and submit it before the hackathon starts. This is first approach, but this is not an interactive way to move on. Basically, you need to do everything by yourself, and you just need to submit. The second approach, which I like more, you collect all the participants in one meeting room and ask them to create their own teams on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a lot of interaction between participants. You had a chance to, get to know each other, how to work, what to do, and so on.
Yeah, but uh, does it mean that this team should include kind of team leaders, some kind of people who gather people, the man who gather people and like create the processes, because you have to work on the same problem and somehow to separate the parts.
This is the best part of these interactions, right? The leaders get elected organically. So maybe there are some enthusiasts who would like to create something new. So he or she directly became a product owner or team lead to organize all the efforts and so on. This is the best part. This is the place where
Hmm.
you can see who has possibility to be next leader.
Okay, let's talk about the aviathon, like an example. Do
Yeah.
I need to know something about the flight industry to participate in the hackathon?
This is the best part. We are providing subject matter experts, right? Because when you have an hackathon, you need to know the subject itself. But in our case, for example, we are always providing real life pilots. We have one retired jet fighter pilot, and he is one of our
Wow.
SMEs, right? We have also SMEs from travel and hospitality team, so they are providing correct direction, right direction to our teams and our individuals. So basically, you don't have to know anything about aviation domain. You just need to know how to solve a problem. This is the most important part.
And previously you mentioned that there are two types of hackathon in the relation of the like the process. I mean, you may invent something new out of the box, or like solve some technical problem, like maybe to build some model or something like that. And Aviathon, which type of
Actually,
hackathon is it?
we had both of them because we don't do not want to limit our participants, right?
Mm-hmm.
We care about the data. We are running a garage project for the last 3 or almost 4 years. We have more than 6.5 billion of records, and we all are engineers, and the only missing part is the data storytelling. That's why
Mm-hmm.
we decided to keep everything on top of data. So we provide the data sets and we ask them either create a new solution for us or create some kind of data story for us. And actually, it worked better than we hoped. We flashed two new projects. We flashed a perfect data storytellers and so on.
And how it, I couldn't imagine that people who never know about the aviation came to the hackathon and suggested something like out of the box, and it's working.
It has happened. We just got a totally new project, and it turned out that this user has a problem with the frequent flying tickets. You know, when you are a frequent flyer, you need to book a lot of tickets, and it's always a pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out that he has very good solution. He became a product owner. He he with his team created a working MVP less than in a week.
And how long the hackathon lasts?
Now, for Aviathon, we have chosen to keep it running for 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah.
And uh, like, do the participants have to take a vacation
No,
for
no, no.
that?
Actually, it is totally extra mile activity, right? So basically, anyone can work whenever they feel comfortable. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
we decided to keep it 7 days. It's not like you need to be online, you need to be doing something all the time. No, we all are working in a very, very fast industry. So we cannot stop our world. The easiest way was to go with 7 days, provide them flexibility. We have created three office hours to consult with SMAs, and
Mm-hmm.
we created several seminars, webinars, and the participants just joined, listened, learned something new, and they have solved those problems.
But what about competitive parts? Like it creates not equal possibilities for people. Somebody could take a vacation and spend all the time to participate in the hackathon and create
This
some.
this is their decision. So, but as far as I know, no one took a vacation day just to compete in the hackathon.
I see. Okay. And what next? Like, okay, somebody won the hackathon, and
Okay, actually, this year we have four winners. Uh, Two individuals for the third place, one team as a second place, very cool machine learning application, and one team for the first place. That's they have created an MVP on top of this frequent ticket surging application, which was very cool. So basically, we are on the process of promoting them as separate garage projects. They will have their own chance to promote their applications to the production environments. Okay, let's talk about garage a little bit.
mhm.
Garage is one critical initiative for us. It allows us to create some garage projects, literally, and we got support from garage community. You can search if you have a project idea. You can search for consultancy. You can search for infrastructure. and then your project will become a member of, as far as I remember, the next initiative name is Made with Lab. So this is the one step before production products, creating a product. Then the third step is having a real product. So basically, we decided to get two projects to the garage level, and if they manage to go one level up, if they can promote it, it
Hmm.
will become a member of a Made with Lab project, and then we will able to sell them to real life clients.
Okay. Okay. So uh, I'm just trying to understand how it works. Like the people, they have their own projects, work, and they doing everything as extra miles. But when you're selling something to clients, it's not possible to have like this activity as extra miles, right?
When any project reaches to this point, the up top, then it becomes a real project. So basically, it is not an extra mile anymore. It will become your project.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. And uh, if you're uh, just I don't know Java developer,
Mhm.
one day you may become I don't know delivery manager of your own project or no.
No, maybe not delivery manager, but can be product owner for a very long time. Then maybe the architect of the project or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like the not usual way for promotion.
Indeed, indeed. But for garage projects, as far as I know, the statistics are not very high. I mean, two or three out of 100 projects reach the level of made with lab, and even
Hmm.
later reaches the production level.
I see.
It is not a
And
easy process. I am not saying that it is very easy process. You can create your own project and it can go to production, but there's a chance.
I see. And a lot of extra miles, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Maybe some interesting stories from the aviathon. Do you know? Could you tell?
Yeah, actually, there are. For example, we have created a kickoff meeting Teams room, and it became our uh, primary communication channel. We
Hmm.
had like 170 people in this channel, and everyone was contributing, communicating, and it was, I have created separate Teams channel for that. No one has used it, but this kickoff meeting room became primary communication
Yeah,
for anything.
it was a mess, I believe.
Exactly. So, we were getting like 20 plus messages per day. And time to time, of course, it was kind of spamming, but
Hmm.
it boosts up the interactive communication with our participants. And I was very happy about it.
Yeah, sounds great. And I also wanted to talk about the uh, healthiness, I would say, about the health, about the. Don't you think that hackathons, especially in the way when it happens probably in weekend, not such healthy activities as it could be, like it push people to sleep less, to maybe eat less, to maybe it can ever lead to burnout or something like that.
There's one thing which is, this whole thing is volunteer based, right? If
Mm-hmm.
if someone asks you to do that for a job, you will just burn out. That's perfectly true. But when you are volunteering for that, it becomes your decision, so you don't get burnout. This is my third hackathon which I am organizing so far, and I have joined several hackathons as a participant. And like I said, whenever you are doing it in a volunteer based, you just enjoy it, and you try to enjoy it because this is your decision. You already decided to join it.
But you know, at the Monday, like at the end of the hackathon, uh, like you want to sleep, you're totally exhausted, and yeah, I know that feeling when you're finished your solution and you're happy that everything is finished. So it could heal a bit, but in general, it doesn't sound like a very healthy thing.
Oh, like I said, this is just a volunteer based thing, right? So that's why people just come back with happy war stories. So basically, it is like, yes, you're exhausted, but it's happy. You are still happy about it because you have decided to take a challenge. You did great, and at the end of it, you just presenting your results. Even if you are not a winner, you are still have a chance to say that, guys, I learned something, 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 or I did something. You feel accomplishment.
Hmm. So so like as a continuing of this question, have you ever tried to create a average portrait of the participant?
This is a really hard question because last year, for example, we had 300 plus participants, and it was, the participant profile was very diverse, right? We had almost everyone from EPAM, like every
Hmm.
profile. And this year, we just decided to focus on data. So only most of them were data people, either somehow touch the data or data oriented or from directly from data practice. So the profile, the portrait of a average participant is really up to your hackathon definitions.
But I'm more interested in, for example, ages. Like, did you collect it? No,
No,
because uh, if if it's if the statement that this is not very healthy activity, right, then probably my assumption was that the average participant must be young people, uh, maybe kind of middle, who
no, no.
don't have any like big family, child, and may offer.
Actually, we had full spectrum from the ages, from the workload perspective. We had some people who are very young, and we had some people who like has a lot of responsibilities, like childs and workload and so on. So basically, I cannot we cannot say that, okay, this is the statistic and this is
Hmm.
like only 20s without any responsibilities will join or something like that. No, there's no portrait.
Okay, I see. And you say that this year there was uh, four winners. Could
Yeah,
you tell about them a bit?
yeah, of course. So, like I said, third place has two winners. The first one is about the data storytelling. He has used Power BI to visualize data, and he created very good visualization. And the second one, third place, second one was data visualization, another data visualization, but he has used bubble chart, and he has created very interesting story how to make it happen and so on. Second place, the team has created very interesting machine learning approach to predict delays on the flights, and which is critical for the industry and
Hmm.
for the end user. And like I said, it was pretty good, legendary. And the first place winners did something unexpected. We never expected that someone can create an MVP within a week, but they did a demo during the semifinals with with a working application, we were like, really, how did you manage to create it in a week? So, like I said, it's a kind of startup environment.
Probably they took a vacation. I bet.
Could be.
Okay. And you mentioned, so I couldn't understand. Was it were it single team members or it was a teams?
For the first place, we had, as far as I remember, 5 team members. For the second place, 5 team members. But for the third places, they were individuals.
Mm-hmm. And as far as I understand, the first place they created a completely new solution. It wasn't your like.
No, no, no. It is still based on the data sets, but they have created something out of the box. And like I said, they created MVP. And I learned that their team is, geographically diverse. And I heard that they have +6, -5 in like time zones in their
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
teams, and they had to. Some of them had to awake till very late hours to just work on this project.
Okay, I see. Sounds great. Um, so probably the last thing I wanted to know about this team is like how often the individual participants took the first places or like
Actually, we did it
top three.
twice so far, but last year, let me think about it. Actually, we didn't get any first or second place for individuals so far. But we changed the approach from last year
Mm-hmm.
to this year. But if I would like to talk about my previous hackathon, it was all individuals, and they managed to get the first and second place, obviously.
Yeah, so it means that nothing special. I don't need and may participate next year.
There is one interesting thing. We can make several hackathons, Anton, but each of them will be different because those things
Mm-hmm.
are dynamic. Environment is dynamic, and you need to decide a lot of details on the fly. So we still have the rule set, but it's up to, sometimes you need to decide something which is not defined in the rule set. And that's why you should be dynamic as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why collecting statistics about hackathons is really hard.
Because every new hackathon is not the same as previous.
Exact. Every new hackathon brings new challenges to participants and to organizers.
Okay, I see. Well, probably this is all things I wanted to know. Maybe you want to add something. I don't know.
Actually, why aviathon, for example? This is an interesting one. Why aviation
Mm-hmm.
project?
Yeah.
Uh, so basically, like I said, we have started a garage project 3 years ago. We have collected a lot of data, and back then I have started this project just as a hobby because I am aviation geek, and I would like I am in training of being a private pilot, and everything has just started like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep, I remember. You're the flyer. Like
Yeah,
if
trying to be fly.
okay, and is it hard?
Yes, really, really hard. There are a lot
Okay.
of bureaucracy. You need to learn a lot of details, and it takes a lot of time.
Much more when you're trying to study how to drive a car.
Actually, the basics are quite same, yes. But the problem that legislation, you need to learn a lot of rules, a lot of details which you never cared about when you are driving a car.
Mm-hmm. Something about wind.
I am not even talking about the meteorology or something else. It's literally the first book. There are like nine different books about how to be a private pilot, and the first
Mm-hmm.
book is something that very very long, very thick, and it's all about all the aviation rules, which airport you can land, how to identify an airport, how to markings are working, and so on. So basically, first step is to learn those legal details. Then you can move on the next steps.
I see. And you decided to start from organizing hackathons on this theme
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
reading books.
exactly.
Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Uh, then I would like to say thank you for participating in our podcast. It was really interesting for me and probably for our listeners. Uh, I hope they will participate in hackathons, probably in the Aviathon. I'm going to do this for sure, just to meet new people and maybe even uh, create a solution that will work. Yep. So hope this is not our last meeting.
Hopefully. Thank you so much, Anton. And we are expecting everyone as a participant. Like I said, I forgot to mention about one important thing. This year we have partnered with Databricks, so each participant had a chance to work with Databricks itself.
Okay, that's valuable. Yep, and for our listeners, if you still listen us, it should mean something. So you listen to the end of the podcast. So you may put the likes, subscribe on our channels whenever you're listening to. And yep, bye bye. See you next time.